a guy on X called Reed said that your bloodline is carried through your daughter, not your sons. And that most conventional cultures are wrong to suggest that the family bloodline should be carried through sons. Is he right or not? So I would say that he is partly right and partly wrong. And I would say that bloodline is carried through both genders equally. But there are a few exceptional circumstances whereby this equal carriage of bloodline is broken, and I'll explain why. First, let me explain why bloodline is carried equally. When a man is forming his gamete cell, which is the sperm, and when a woman is forming her gamete cell, which is the ova, the cells will be different from the other cells in their body. So the other cells in their body are intact cells, which are with full pair of chromosomes that are 46 and have identical DNA that belongs to the person. But the gamete cells are different. Why? A man shuffles half of his DNA and contributes it via a process called meiosis. Similarly, a woman also shuffles her DNA to contribute in a process called meiosis. Think of meiosis as a factory for the sperm and the ova. And the sperm and the ova will end up having half of the man's DNA for the sperm and the ova half of the woman's DNA. So there are two instances where this shuffling is skipped. And the first instance is when a man is forming a sperm that will make up a boy. That is a sperm that contains the Y chromosome. So the Y chromosome is usually not shuffled and is inherited from the man intact. And that is the chromosome that will go to form a boy. So the second instance where the DNA is not shuffled explains how the mom carries her legacy forward. And that is through the mitochondrial DNA. So this is not chromosomal DNA, does not take part in meiosis, but still persists in the cells of offspring and will continue to persist unchanged for many, many generations. And the mom transmits this both to their boys and their girls. But when the boys receive it, it hits a dead end and they cannot transmit it to any other generation as the sperm never contains mitochondrial DNA. Only the ova does. So whichever sperm the boy will produce will never contain mitochondrial DNA to be carried forward. But the daughters will carry forward their DNA to the next generation and the next generation and the next generation in perpetuity. So that means the man gives his legacy to his sons only, excluding his daughters, through the Y chromosome. And the woman gives her legacy to both her sons and her daughters through the mitochondrial DNA. But when it is given to her daughters, it is carried forward in perpetuity. But when given to the sons, it hits a dead end and is not carried forward. While at the same time, the Y chromosome is less persistent because the Y chromosome can mutate over time due to inherent instability of chromosomal DNA. But the mitochondrial DNA that the mom gives rarely ever mutates and is carried forward almost intact through generations after generations after generations. So just to close the debate, Reed was almost right, but not completely right. So the Y chromosome carries the legacy of the man through the sons, and the mitochondrial DNA carries the legacy of the mom through both the son and the daughter, but through the daughter does not hit the dead end and is carried forward in perpetuity. So all this is useful in ancestry determination. So you can be able to know your paternal ancestry if you are a man through the Y chromosome. Both the son and the daughter can be able to know and trace their maternal ancestry through the mitochondrial DNA. So, in short, it's almost like the mom wins because you can be able to tell your maternal ancestry if you are a man and a woman, but you cannot be able to tell your paternal ancestry if you are a woman because you don't carry the Y chromosome legacy that the dad gives to the son. So, it seems like men are more selfish than women, even biologically. Now you know. Thank you.